Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Justin here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into Itsuka Kendo from My Hero Academia. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying just sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So let's get started. In today's video, we will be talking about Itsuka Kendo from My Hero Academia. Itsuka is the class rep of 1B and is training to become a pro hero. She is of medium height and has a slim build along with teal-colored eyes and red hair that she styles into a side ponytail. She has bangs that are split into 3 around her eyes, and she has tufts of hair that sticks out on the top of her head. Her hero's costume includes a turquoise, knee-length qipao, and she wears a black corset over it. She wears black sports shorts under her qipao and has a loose brown utility belt around her waist, which has a satchel attached on the back. She wears a black domino mask on her face and has white-heeled navy blue boots. During the winter, she wears a qipao with longer sleeves instead of her normal one. Itsuka is very thoughtful of others, but doesn't hesitate to criticize her classmates when she believes that what they're doing isn't right. She's willing to pass on opportunities if she thinks that other people deserve it more than her. Tetsu stated that she could bring everyone together because of her cheerful personality, making her the big sister of the class. She's friendly to those outside of her class, including the 1A students, which the majority of her class treats with disrespect. She has displayed sympathy for others even when she's not close to the person. In combat, she's very analytical. For example, she's able to understand Mustard's quirks and uses this knowledge to determine the user's location. She can also use her quirk to get rid of Mustard's gas, which allows her and Tetsu to fight without needing gas masks. Overall, she is a very skilled fighter, which showed when she got 5th place in the UA entrance exam. She has excellent control over her quirk, Big Fist, which she uses in close-range combat. She has enough power to break through most defenses. This sudden expansion of her hand surprises enemies, which gives her the advantage in battle. She also uses her quirk to assist others by transporting them safely with her hand, but also to trap opponents, which makes her quirk useful for rescues and escorting criminals. If someone is wrapped around her hand, they are protected from hazards like poison gas, though this is only temporary. She demonstrates her strength when she goes up against Mustard. She uses her quirk effectively to eliminate his poison gas, giving Tetsu the chance to defeat him. She is capable of hand-to-hand combat as she incapacitated Naito Monoma with a single karate chop. Her strength was showcased once again during the joint training battle, where she was able to overwhelm Momo and get through her defenses. Although she was attacked by a cannon, she could still use her double jumbo fist technique, making her lose consciousness. She is knowledgeable and tactical as she understood Mustard's location as well as the pattern of his quirk, while also being able to get rid of the gas. Itsuka has a high sense of perceptiveness. Tetsu commented that she has a quick wit, is able to maintain a level head, and can make the right decisions on the spot. During the joint training, she took into account all of her opponent's strengths and weaknesses when creating a plan to defeat them. Her first step was for Shihei Kurohiro to take control of Takuyami's Dark Shadow, then launch a surprise attack. She planned this because she knew that Takuyami would use Dark Shadow to hunt them down, and also because she theorized that they wouldn't expect someone from their team to betray them. In case he failed, Itsuka had a backup where they would lose light to weaken the whole team, which could also be used as a beacon for her squad to spot their location, though this would only happen if they focused their attack on Shihei. Another component of her auxiliary strategy was to have Manga Fukidashi use his quirk to separate Momo from the rest of her teammates, as she knew she was the enemy's strategist. Itsuka believed that if she made the battle close quarters combat, she would win. Despite all of this planning, Todoroki realized there was a flaw in her plan to separate Momo from her team. He states that if Itsuka's team was anxious about Momo, then they should have all focused on attacking her to overwhelm her at the start of the match. This shows how Itsuka prefers to create broad strategies than direct ones. Itsuka's quirk, Big Fist, gives her the ability to enlarge both her hands to an enormous size. This makes her hands more strong and enhances her gripping skills. She has more strength than the average human since she can lift humans with just her hands without any difficulty. Her quirk also gives her enhanced chopping and gripping power. She is strong enough to destroy Momo's shields, which are made of the most robust metal on Earth. She also has a special move named Double Jumbo Fist, where she attacks with her hands at average size, then enlarges them just before impact to maximize damage. Itsuka first appears in the UA Sports Festival arc of the 2nd season and proves herself to be a powerful hero in training. She places 28th out of 30 in the first event, qualifying her for the second event, the Cavalry Battle. She notices Naito riling up Bakugo and tells him off. She teams up with Raiko Yanagi, Kinoko Komori, and Setsuna Tokage. Her team attempts to go for Deku's 10 million points along with the other teams. Denki from Team Todoroki electrocutes all of them, then are frozen in place by Todoroki himself. He takes some of Itsuka's headbands, making Itsuka yell at him, though she can't fight back. Mashirao and Nirengeki drop out of the competition as they felt it would be unfair for them to participate. Midnight suggests that 2 members of Itsuka's team are moved up instead, but she declines as they were frozen for most of the round. She indicates that Midnight takes members from Tetsu's team instead, since they fought through the whole thing. Itsuka and some of the other students participated in recreational games that happened before the finals. Throughout the rest of the festival, she is keeping an eye on Naito and apologizes to 1A when he taunts them because Ibara defeated Denki. After the sports festival, she gets an internship offer from pro hero Uwabami along with Momo. The two participate in Uwabami's commercials, and Itsuka mentions that she wishes they were doing something more heroic. Itsuka takes note of Momo's enthusiasm when she suggests that the reason they must take part in the commercial is that Uwabami is teaching them the importance of popularity for pro heroes. Though, she reveals that she only chose them because she thought they were cute. This takes them both by surprise. They accompany her to one of her photo shoots, and Itsuka comments about how she treats them more like her entourage rather than actual interns. After filming the commercial, Uwabami finally takes the two on patrol, which excites the two of them. They are approached by a group of fans, and Uwabami states that the hard work is what gets pro heroes like herself famous, though Itsuka counters this by saying that she's out of touch with reality entirely. A week before their exams, Itsuka spots Naito once again mocking Class 1A, and she whacks him in the back of the neck to make him go unconscious and apologizes to Deku, Ida, and Todoroki for his immature behavior. She reveals that she heard from an upperclassman that the practical portion of the exam would be a battle simulation against villain bots. Naito criticizes her for revealing this to A1, and she hits them on the neck again and drags him away, telling him that there isn't anything wrong with 1A. Following the end of their first semester, 1A and 1B go to a training camp over the summer break. When getting onto the bus, Naito taunts 1A as some of them failed their exams, and Itsuka once again makes him unconscious, apologizes, then drags him onto the bus. Vlad King, 1B's homeroom teacher, explains that the training camp would help them strengthen their quirks. Itsuka questions how only 2 teachers can watch 40 students, and Aizawa explains that they hired the Pussycats for that reason. The next night, 1B scares some of 1A during the test of courage. Itsuka and Juzo commend Yui for scaring Todoroki and Bakugo, when suddenly, purple smoke enters the forest, which puts Juzo to sleep. Itsuka springs to action and uses her quirk to cover Yui. She then carried Yui and Juzo through the forest, where she spots Tetsu carrying an unconscious Ibara. They're wearing masks that Momo gave them, and he gives them to Itsuka, Yui, and Juzo. He lets them know that Momo and Yosetsu are leading their peers to safety. Itsuka wants to join them, but Tetsu refuses to flee, as he knows the difference between the two classes and wants to have a real fight so he can get to their level. This convinced Itsuka to fight alongside him. Itsuka and Tetsu run through the forest. Then, she stops to inform him that the gas hasn't gotten to Mandalay's area as it's swirling around Mustard. This makes Tetsu charge to the thickest part of the gas, as the villain would be there. Tetsu is angered by the villains because they hurt his classmates, which makes Itsuka appreciate that straightforward part of him. He eventually runs into Mustard, and he shoots Tetsu's mask off of his face. He's uninjured because his quirk, and Mustard mocks him for his straightforward approach to the fight. He aims for Itsuka, but Tetsu jumps in front of her to protect her from the bullet. Mustard kicks him and shoots him repeatedly, mocking his entire being. Itsuka tries to save him, but Mustard can read her moves thanks to his gas. Itsuka, however, was one step ahead of him. She enlarges her hand, which takes him by surprise, and he hides in the gas and mocks her quirk. Itsuka then enlarged both of her hands and moved them aggressively so the gas would disperse. She insults Mustard as she can tell that he has no confidence in his own abilities, as he wears a mask and carries a gun. The thinning gas allows Tetsu to hit Mustard, as he can no longer read his movements, and he is knocked out. Itsuka and Tetsu head back to the facility with Mustard, and he is arrested thanks to the two of them. During the provisional hero license exam, Naito once again taunts 1A, though Denki questions his choice of hero costume. Itsuka explains how it is to match his quirk, as he wouldn't need anything eccentric. This confuses Denki as his personality is entirely eccentric. For the school festival, she participates in the beauty contest, instead of the fantasy play with the rest of 1B. Naito signed her up, as if she won, it would bring prestige to 1B, which would prevent her from hitting him for some time. Although she is upset that he signed her up against her will, she participates anyway, though Nejiri ends up being the winner. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, If you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day!